Welcome into Sports Idiot Nation, another Wednesday episode. We know that there is a Super Bowl rematch. So let's talk through some of the most famous and best rematches over the last 20 years. Also, we'll find out Bill Belichick is not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Yikes. And we'll find out how Miles feels about the IU schedule that got released.
Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. By idiots, for idiots. Let's see how long Adam can go without crying when we touch on the Chiefs and Niners rematch.
This is Sports Idiot Nation.
Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. Welcome back, sinners. This is Season 2 of Sports Idiot Nation.
Welcome in. It is a Wednesday. This is going to be a fun one. It is I, along with Miles Behind Enemy Lines. Thoughts and prayers always solve everything, so that's what we're giving to T.I. and the city, the whole area around Nashville. I mean, it really is crazy what they're going through, so hope everyone is okay over there. We are in Indiana and Texas, so we are doing a little bit better. This is, like I said, a fun show because I want to go through as it's close to the Super Bowl and go over some fun facts. Before we do, though, Miles, I want to get your really quick thought because it hasn't even been 24 hours. You realize that in a 3-week span, that IU next year has to play Michigan, Ohio State, and USC all in the same in 3 weeks from October, November. What was your initial thoughts real quick when you saw that?
Oh, fantastic, because I already knew what the schedule was going to be, not necessarily the dates, but I ain't worried. You get Ohio State and USC at home. Fantastic.
Yeah, you're
And then
Michigan,
obviously going to Washington
we've
and
been
going
to
to Michigan.
IU.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see on Michigan. Obviously, they had a miraculous turnaround from the standpoint of going through a debacle within a few weeks themselves, getting one of the safest, most clutch hires you can get, pulling Kyle Whittingham out of retirement and really steadying the ship in like a month. And now no one talks about it at all anymore. It's okay, what is he going to do going forward? Keeping that core together, which it seems like he has. And then Utah. Honestly, at Michigan's the game I'm most worried about. Getting Ohio State at home. Their defense is going to be brand new. They'll still be very good, of course, but they're losing so much talent, as they do every year, to the NFL draft. But this year, especially on the defensive side, I feel good about that. USC at home. Worried about that game. I ain't worried about that game. At Washington, it'll be sneaky tough. Rain season, that'll be November. And Washington, all this hoopla with the quarterback situation, that's almost a full calendar year away. Everyone will forget about that up there. Washington will be very tough. I expect the Huskies to be a better football team next year and maybe be a dark horse even for the playoff. We'll see on that. So, yeah, tough schedule. It can be tough any year. But given what it could have been, obviously we miss Oregon. We'll see what Penn State's going to be this year, but we miss out on them. So I'm very content with it. There's no excuse for us not to start out 6-0 at Nebraska. Could be a decent game, but they've sucked in the portal. So I'm good with where we're at. I'm fine with getting those teams right in a row because, again, if we're going to be a title contender once more, you got to win those games. It's pretty straightforward. Yep. And it's not like we're playing top 10 teams every other week. USC and Washington might sneak up there. We'll see. But if we want to be a title contender, you got to win those games, especially at home. Maybe drop one of those three.
I was going to say you can.
But beyond that, if we are who we think we can be, despite losing a lot of those guys that were the JMU transfers, losing now Omar Cooper as well, we should be just fine. It's a Kurt Cignetti team. I trust that man to babysit my children.
I was just about to say, to be the birther, I see the crown of the head.
He performed that C-section, wife, you don't know what this man's capable of. He's just fine. Has he done it before? No, don't worry about it. Don't matter. He is that good.
He also stayed at a Holiday Inn. We got this.
Express, yes.
So another thing, where as we talk about the Super Bowl, how about a man who has won as a coach basically the most Super Bowls, and not being a first ballot Hall of Famer. So that news was also yesterday. And
Wow.
I just think that the NFL is making a stance because Robert Kraft has been waiting to get in. And now
Sure.
Belichick officially will not be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And remember, here's the big thing that's like, juicy. Tom Brady was suspended for what we are going to infer on is why Belichick did not get in. I'm going to make an inference, if you will, on Sports Idiot Nation, that is the reason, right? It could be, it's only, the only thing that you can think of why the man didn't get in is that cheating business in which his quarterback was literally penalized and couldn't play football because of it. So now I'm wondering, okay, in about 3 years, what does this look like for Tom Brady? Like, do you really have the balls to not
Deflated
let
balls. Deflated balls?
you,
Do you have the deflated balls to not let them in?
these writers? And then it comes out that conflicting between Sports Illustrated and ESPN, one of them said that Bill Polian was adamant, like, no, he is not getting in. And the other said, no, we've talked to Bill literally in person, and he actually voted for him to get in. So is there a ringleader? Like, who is saying out there that Bill Belichick should not be in the Hall of Fame? To me, it's just wild.
It's delaying the inevitable, but maybe some of these folks are realizing maybe he just wasn't that good of a coach after all. It was just all Tom Brady. Now, obviously, Bill Belichick still won 6 championships at the end of the day, and the number of things that he did were absolutely brilliant. Can never take that away from him. But it's like, man, Robert Kraft deserved, after getting back to the Super Bowl again with a whole new regime and a 12-year-old quarterback like Robert Kraft. Everyone wanted to give him crap for all the twisties and handies he was getting. That man deserves one from every woman in the face of the earth because this man
the New England
is
area
baller. With the accent, of course. That dude. And Tom Brady, who proved his worth, because that was the question. Remember, after he left after that final Super Bowl against the Rams, it was Super Bowl 53. The question was it really Tom Brady? Was it really Bill Belichick? We got our answer very fast. Right. We got our answer very fast. But he should
still be in there.
Of course. And he should still be a first ballot Hall of Famer. It doesn't matter if he had the most loaded rosters for 20 years straight and he won 6. He will not be. He's not, and he will be eventually, of course. But yeah, it is silly. And I am no fan of William Belichick. Yeah. But he should be a first ballot Hall of Famer and consensus.
At least he has Jordan to console him. So we'll see how he does. All right. So we were talking about this, and I want to run some numbers by you. We all know that it is a rematch of Super Bowl 49. And so some of the things that I was thinking of when they matched up, this is wild, especially this weird trend of, like, I don't remember this over the last 4 or 5 years where a trend of showing pictures or what you were doing from 10 years ago. At the start of 26, we've seen the trend is showing what you were doing, some pictures from 2016. My take is that's when photos started becoming really good. You can't have a 10-year challenge in like 2019 because in 2009 we were like flip phoning and like, the quality wasn't that great. So it'd be like, grainy. But we're getting to the point where 10 years ago, we still had decent photos. So I think maybe that has something to do with it. But all that to say, it got me thinking, when they matched up, iPhone 6 and had come out, and people were still arguing whether they were too big. Nowadays, like, this is a cell phone.
Yeah, my wife has the new iPhone 17 Max, and I'm trying to do this. I'm like,
babe,
it's too
I'm on
wide.
a podcast. I gotta let you go. All right, you were saying?
Yeah, what do I do with my hands? Like, I can't wrap around.
So, get this. Instagram didn't have stories yet.
Instagram
that.
Okay. Okay.
Instagram.
Like,
They didn't come
I'm
out
trying to think
until
what
later
Instagram.
in 2016.
I'm gonna have to
Twitter,
find a photo of what the layout of Instagram was in early 2015.
Twitter was still very relevant to sports discourse. Man, Sports Edit Nation would have been cooking back then. Netflix. Let's talk about Netflix. It was growing, but password sharing was totally unpoliced. Like
Oh, they
no
were
one paid
past the
for it.
mailing thing though, but you could still
Yeah.
stream it though. You weren't getting in the mailbox and Blockbuster making fun of you.
Yep. Streaming TV was common, but absolutely everyone still had cable. Yeah. How about this? This completely, I became unhinged. I'm an unhinged man. Minimum wage federally. You're well learned.
$7.25.
There you go.
The same. It's been $7.25 for like 20 years, dude. I was a
That
lifeguard 20 years ago, and it was a $7.25. I was going to say $1.25. It felt like $1.25 even back then.
average rent,
$7.25 nowadays feels like a quarter.
yeah. Average rent is $1,100 a month. Average new car price $33,000.
Hmm.
So Star Wars, The Force Awakens, Jurassic World. Dude, think how long it's been since Jurassic Park got rejuvenated. Dude, that's wild.
Well, you know what the main NFL story was at this time 11 years ago? That Super Bowl? We just briefly touched on it. Deflategate. That was that year before the Seahawks Patriots with the Eagles game, or the Colts Patriots game. That was the AFC Championship game that year. Going to Super Bowl 49 was the Deflategate, which again, that was the first half thing where they led by 3 and then ended up winning by like 60. So who cares?
We talked about IU. College football playoffs were still new. Like, think about that.
IU still sucked back then. It was normal times.
Drake ruled the charts. If you're reading this, it's too late. Taylor Swift dropped 1989, fully crossed into a pop star. Uptown Funk was all the rage. Walking Dead, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones. And you set your clock to watching those. That was also a thing. It was through Walking Dead Sunday night, right? You know, that was a big deal. I mean,
the stream, no HBO Max to, hey, Sunday it'll release, but watch it whenever, like Game of Thrones was at the end, or the spin-offs that you watch to it, and House of Dragons and whatnot, where it's like, hey, it premieres at 9 on Sunday, but at that point you can watch it anytime.
There's a movie, The Blank, in which a huge star finally won an Oscar. Who was it?
Was that Leo DiCaprio?
Remember the movie?
The bear. It was the one with the bear where he gets attacked by the bear.
What's it called? The Bear. But
no, I know, but it's the one where he gets attacked by the bear.
like
I
Super
forget what the name
Troopers.
is.
Excuse me.
Look at it. It was the leader of Cola movie.
Yeah.
Well,
they know it's illegal.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Do you need assistance? He's like, The
one
Revenant.
he gets his ass kicked.
The Revenant.
Yeah. I knew the movie. I knew the actor.
Yes, good call.
I have sports autism, not cinematic autism. We know this.
What's weird is like that feels about maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Some of this stuff, you know, it's like, man, it's
more than a half a score.
It's just crazy. Yeah. So, all right, let's get into some of these rematches. We know that this is the rematch. People are talking about, do we sign, beast mode just for a game off the street and just hand him the ball, get to the 1 yard line, don't score a touchdown. All right, bring him in. Like, that's like an episode of The League.
And that you read my mind. I was like, that is one of my favorite scenes from The League. It's like, hand it to, no, I'll just toss you the beer. No, you can come over, just hand it to me. No, I think I'll throw it. And he throws it, it hits the grill and goes down, sets fire on the beach.
Yeah. So Super Bowl rematch, who are some of your favorites over the last few years?
Well, I won't make it tough on you. I would want to bring up Chiefs 49ers just because the
No.
games were great. I mean, they were
Yeah,
great games.
they
He had
truly were.
a two-score comeback and then an overtime game, only the second overtime game. But we'll bypass that. Seeing the Chiefs get shit all over last year was fun, albeit it was the Eagles. No one likes the Eagles anymore because they're a frequent flyer in Super Bowls now. But
Yeah.
it was still fun to see the Chiefs go down. Of course, the Chiefs are going to have a losing record this year. All right, and the Patriots are winning the AFC.
Yeah,
God
like what
damn
is
it.
this?
Talk
What
about
is
a
this?
bait and switch.
Yeah, if you were in a coma from 10 years ago and you're like, boy, that Deflategate was crazy. All right, so tell me about the NFL now. All right, well, you got Peyton and Eli's nephew is coming up. He'll be ready soon. Oh, okay, cool. Tell me more. All right, Russell Wilson is still playing. Wow, how the Seahawks doing? Well, they're in the Super Bowl. Again? Really, with Russell Wilson? Oh, no, he's trash. Really? Like, can you imagine, like, waking up?
I mean, God, you even could have had a temporary wake up in like 2018, be awake for a couple years and see. And Sam Darnold, yeah, he's terrible. No, he's the quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, and he's balling out. Like they're not there just in spite of him. Like their defense is great. It's not the Legion of Boom, but it's still part two. Sam Darnold's balling out every situation you put him in. He's showing out. So it's just bizarre. You've got one quarterback who's now tenured, coming up close to a decade in the league, and then the other your second year, almost essentially in a ways, feels like a rookie quarterback.
Like a Tom Brady situation.
What the hell? What the hell? Yeah, that's true. His second year after the injury. Now, of course, we knew Drake May was the guy being a top 3 pick or whatever. But it is a bizarre feeling, and I don't like it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't
you hate
want
the
to
Seahawks.
live.
I hate the Patriots. I'm not a big fan of the Seahawks, and you're not a big fan of the Patriots. So, can we just skip this one?
Yeah, let's get to the commercials, which we will cover Super Bowl commercials. Stay tuned to Sports Idiot Nation. Remember, follow us wherever you get your social media. So, okay, we have Chiefs, Eagles, Chiefs, 49ers. What else?
Yeah, the Chiefs against anyone, the Patriots against anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, you did have that rematch Super Bowl 53 that was offensively abysmal. Super Bowl 53 with Tom Brady's last was against the Rams 13-3 in the Super Bowl 53.
Half was like 3-0 or 7-3.
Yeah, right. Well,
like
the first touchdown didn't happen until like 4 or 5 minutes left in the game.
Wow.
And then the Patriots put it away.
Oh my gosh.
It was bad. It was great defense. But man, it was a bit of an eyesore for about 55 minutes.
That was McVay though, wasn't it?
Sean. Yeah.
His first.
So then he ended up getting it. He got beat, and then obviously, a couple years later was that Super Bowl 56.
Beat Joe Burrow.
Then he beat
Aaron Donald single-handedly won that game, dude. He was just
right. Jamar Chase was wide open, and he couldn't get to him because Arnold's a future Hall of Famer.
So do you have a favorite Super Bowl in the last 11 years? Football.
That's hard.
Watch.
Yeah, no.
Just watching football.
I mean, honestly, the Patriots Seahawks Super Bowl 49 was amazing from the standpoint. Like, yes, I wanted the Seahawks to win, but that interception to make sure the Seahawks didn't go back to back the year before them beating down Denver was just boring in a weird score, 43-8. And then you have the follow up to that, the Seahawks in it, getting a Super Bowl essentially stolen from them by Butler. That was awesome to see. Didn't want it to happen, but it was historic. That gave Tom Brady his first in 10 years. Like, a lot of people forget that he had a 10-year gap between. Yeah. So it's kind of like Jordan. Now Jordan, of course, he was just out 2 years, but in the essence of he had his first 3 and then his second 3, of course, Tom Brady went on to Tampa and won a 4th, his 7th overall, but on the back half, his 4th. But it's weird to think like Tom Brady had a 10-year gap, but then after that gap, he won more Super Bowls than he had in the first segment of his 3 Super Bowl wins out of 4 years. So the dude was unreal. That was great to see. Trying to go through these Super Bowl. God, I mean, even Super Bowl 51, the comeback. I was cheering my ass off with Jay Tubbs for the Falcons that night. I was dating a girl at that time who was a big Patriots fan, and I didn't get it. But, 28-3, man, it was a good feeling. I'm indifferent to the Falcons, but it was like, man, Tom Brady can get his ass kicked. But then Tom Brady doing Tom Brady things as a pure football fan, that was historic. I'm not going to say I enjoyed it, but that was historic too. I will say, as I'm talking these through, my favorite, the one I truly enjoyed, was Tom Brady losing that next year after
Nick
that.
Foles. Nick Foles.
2017, it was the first time, right? First time I watched one while I was in the Army. It was cool. I'd just shown up to Fort Campbell like 2 or 3 days before that. Went to this event center on post, and it was just filled, obviously, with military personnel. It was really cool. Like the national anthem, everyone's standing at attention. It was really neat. That got filmed, and it wasn't on like national news, but like local news. I made Nashville news. I was probably on there, somewhere tucked away for a glimpse for a second. But that game, of course, with the backup quarterback, and obviously being the MVP, it wasn't like the Eagles won in a 10-6 ball game. Their defense just pulled it out because, thinking Carson Wentz unbelievably was a MVP type season. That's still bizarre to think, but no, they put up 41 points that game, and the game was spectacular. Of course, the Phillies special lives in infamy. I'd probably have to say over the last 11 years, Eagles, Patriots, another rematch. Back in the day growing up, I liked the Eagles, Donovan McNabb, Terrell Owens, and that was pretty decent Super Bowl, but then the Eagles to avenge that, which would have been, God, 10, 15 years later, had been Super Bowl 39, Super Bowl 52. Yeah, 10, 15 years later, 13 years. So that was a good rematch as well. Seeing the Eagles knock off the Patriots and saying, okay, Tom Brady ain't going to rip off 6 out of 7 Super Bowls now. He can still be beaten. So that was good after a year before the Falcons doing what they did and then having the historic implosion.
So the reason that you are completely wrong is that the answer, here, I'll give you the reason. It is not me being a homer, especially it's opening a wound. But anytime you have a Super Bowl that goes to overtime, in which a team scores in overtime and doesn't just win right then and there, when that is how the rule used to be, that is instantly the best Super Bowl. That's
okay.
just,
Well,
that's
I
just
have
how
to
it
come
goes.
back to it. That game was cool in the second half in overtime. That was one of the worst first halves in Super Bowl history. And we had Super Bowl 53 to mention in there.
Yeah.
That first half was
I don't
garbage.
disagree. I don't disagree.
The end, spectacular for sure. But I'd still take 51 and 52 as a fan, as a football fan, from front to Finland, start to finish.
Mhm.
I like those more. But yes, of course, the overtime was great, and it was fun to watch. Besides, what was it, Greenlaw, who got hurt at the end, and that screwed you all up for a while.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely in the conversation. That was one of the first things. When you asked me about my favorite rematch, the first things I brought up were the Niners-Chiefs, much to your chagrin, because both one was a very good 2-score comeback. The other was an overtime game. So it's automatically going to get brought up. But in totality, it being a dud of the first half, it doesn't crack the top 2 for me.
So you know what's in there too is Cam Ward not going for the ball. Or Cam Newton. I said Cam Ward. I got Titans. I got,
Oh my God. What kind of 8-ball do you have of the future? It's messed up because Cam Ward ain't going to be there anytime soon.
No. Cam Newton not going for the ball. That
good
was
defensive
that
game.
in that
Super Bowl 50.
Yeah, that was an interesting one for sure. Peyton did not have it on that day. His arm gave out, I think.
Yeah.
And
he had a Von Miller. He brought Von Miller with him.
No question, man. That dude. That was when he had like the old style glasses, the brown, ugly looking glasses. Like, bro, are you a Cosby kid stuck in the 80s? What are you wearing? Like, what are you doing? But yeah, that one.
Respect for Tom Brady Tom Brady too, but respect for Peyton Manning. You get them mixed up, whatever. But I wanted Carolina to win that day. Cam Newton fell off a cliff after, but man, I was a little heartbroken them losing that game. I really thought they were going to win.
Yeah, I did too. I mean, they were 15-1?
Yeah. That would have been an all-time team had they won that game.
Yeah. And now you completely forget they were even around. And then when you do, you're like, oh yeah, is that the game that he didn't try hard? He didn't even go for the ball? Yeah, that's the one. Like, oh yeah, I remember now. Like, oh gosh. And then The one thing that strikes me out of all this is it looks really bad. It looks Buffalo Bills-ish for Kyle Shanahan. Remember, he was up 28-3 with the Falcons. He was on that staff, and he was helping the offense. And when you're up 28-3 and you lose, it's just, okay, you're not the head
He
coach.
compacted 4 Bills losses into 1 to a single game.
Well, I say 4 because, well, it gets a lot worse. You're up 10. You are up 10 in the fourth quarter. You're up 20-10. Your defense is amazing, giving up only 10 points to Tyreek Hill and these guys. Unbelievable defense. Could have been an all-time team. Instead, they actually end up losing by 2 scores. They're up 2 scores.
Wild.
And they lose by 2 scores. That is all, like, just, I hate talking about it, but I'm just saying there's a theme
it
here
is
when
very
you
Buffalo
look,
Bills.
right? And then what happens again? You're up again against the Chiefs. You're winning. And then in overtime, you even kick a field goal, which if it was another decade, that would win you the game. You would win. Like, oh my gosh, like, it's just...
And now you'd be talking about him, first ballot Hall of Famer.
And
maybe,
then
maybe get in before Bill Belichick.
I'll take it even a step further, because since I'm a Niner fan, I can remember this. Most people don't. But there was a new offensive lineman in who missed an assignment. And so a guy, I can't remember who it was, but came in unblocked and disrupted Brock Purdy. On that very play, which was third down, the person covering Brandon Ayuk had fallen down. So Ayuk is alone in the end zone going like this, no one around him. All Brock Purdy had to do was even do this and just throw it up. But he didn't even see him because he was rushed and had to just throw the ball at whoever it was his feet. Incomplete, fourth down, you got to kick a field goal. If he has time to see Brandon Ayuk is wide open, he throws him the touchdown, and the way the rules are, if you give up an opening touchdown, the game is over. So if they score a touchdown, no, actually on that, I don't know. If you score an opening touchdown in that Super Bowl, do the Chiefs still get the ball? I think they still get
in
a
the
chance.
Part 2, yes. Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. Timeline's all cloudy now.
But because they would have scored a touchdown, that touchdown that they gave up, it's still tied. And then from there, it would be next score wins.
It might have been the year after. Yeah. Either way, it changes history.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Are you contending then Shanahan is like the modern era Marv Levy then?
Tell me why that would not be the case. How about that?
That's hard.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm the one bringing it up.
Yeah.
And then why else would I bring it up?
I flipped it on you.
Well, the joke's on you. That's your team.
Right. Not only do I agree with
Buffalo,
you,
but
I implore you, not only do I agree, yes, I implore you to tell me why it wouldn't be.
No. But what I do want to do is, speaking of Levy and the Bills, is kind of touch on some former, more ancient rematches. So I was thinking about that earlier today with, of course, the Buffalo Bills. And now that you brought it up, how perfect. I was looking at some of these prior matchups, and for one, I was like 2 years old, so I don't remember it. The first
Bills,
Super Bowl I remember is
Cowboys,
Super
right?
Bowl 30. Yeah, Bills Cowboys Super Bowl 27, back to back years. So 27-28. First Super Bowl I remember is 30, which was Steelers Cowboys, the only Super Bowl matchup that's happened 3 times. It would have happened this year had the Rams won. That would have been the third matchup. But anyways, I digress. The part 1 of Bills Cowboys, which was their 3rd straight year, and again the Cowboys were 2 years removed from a 1-15 record. So I don't remember any of that. So in my brain, knowing that the Cowboys beat the living shite out of them, beat them even worse the first time than the second time when they kind of went on cruise control in the second half and had that game totally in control. I was thinking of as, well, of course the Cowboys beat the crap out of the Bills. Like the Cowboys were the Cowboys of that era, and the Bills always lost Super Bowls. Well, then you go look at it actually pregame for those that were sentient at the time, like you and certainly T.I. the Bills were actually a pretty heavy favorite for that game. And that is so weird. That game was in the Rose Bowl. That is so bizarre to think that the Bills were a heavy favorite over the Cowboys, even for the Cowboys' first Super Bowl in a long time.
Yeah.
It's like, there's no way. And of course, the Cowboys end up winning by 30. So yeah, y'all were wrong again. But that's like a Mandela effect for me to think that the Bills were like a 10-point favorite for Super Bowl 27 and then just got drubbed that game. So beyond that, you got those, you got the Cowboys a couple times. Obviously, your Niners had a couple times you beat the Bengals, of course, the second one, the John Candy story and everything. But what are some of your like older rematches or couple matchups that occurred in Super Bowl history?
I was gonna bring up. I even remember the scores. It was 52-17 and then 30-13. Those were the Bills and Cowboys. The two scores. Against the Giants, it was
wow.
It was 20-19. Was against the Bills. Scott Norwood missed the field goal.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, my sports autism does not rival yours in that it's not at the same level as yours, but I do have like a touch of it.
Touch of autism.
Yeah, I do have a touch of it because I remember 38-16, Joe Montana over Dan Marino. That score, 38-16. I'll never forget that.
Super Bowl 19.
So 55-10, 49-26. Those are 49ers Super Bowls, 20-16.
So, for the Niners win, the rematch, it's only Bengals, right? Because you had the Dolphins, you had the Chargers, you had the Broncos. I always forget that y'all beat the Broncos and won the Super Bowl because that was John Elway Young.
The most lopsided in NFL history.
Very forgettable game. For you, of course not, but for the average fan.
Unbelievable.
And that was in New Orleans, and just that's a weird place for Denver and San Francisco to play in the Big Easy. Like, such a weird. Like, New Orleans has had some of the most Super Bowls ever. For a long time, it hosted the most, but I don't envision San Francisco and Denver playing in New Orleans. Like, that just doesn't click for me.
So for me, Patriots Rams was a big deal because of how much I hate the Rams. And if it's so much painful if you go and then you get beat. A lot of people forget the Rams, the greatest show on turf, was absolutely favored big against Adam Vinatieri.
Yeah, and that was in the Patriots.
And Vinatieri, I mentioned his name because that's who won the game and beat the Rams. And I was very, very excited. And
little did we know what was to come. Like, ooh, I regret that one. Like, I still don't like the Rams, and you hate them, but I'm like, man, the ultimate underdog, the ultimate upset. Yeah,
the Patriots
live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
The Patriots against the NFC West. If my team isn't going to get in, and a team from the NFC West does get in, I want them beat to a pulp.
No, of course,
the Patriots oblige.
Well, and that's interesting too, because he did have good success against the West. He beat the Rams twice and the Seahawks. The NFC East, different story.
Eagles,
1 for 3 because he did beat the Eagles once, and the Giants. We didn't talk about that. And in the last, I guess it wasn't in the last 10 years, but the Giants were twice.
I was going to go there.
Big upsets, in Indy.
It got Eli.
That is a matchup, Giants.
That literally there.
David Tyree. Good job, David Tyree.
And Mario Manningham.
I was going to say it could have been a glove.
And Mario Manningham, ex-Niner Mario Manningham. He went to the Niners the next year.
Gum. Who do you think chewed that gum that ended up on David Tyree's helmet? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, Giselle.
Stuck it. Ooh, that's controversial.
Yeah.
Damn,
I can't chew my own gum and catch my own pass. I don't know. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know.
That's pretty good out of you.
Yeah, it's solid.
Deflated gum.
Deflated gum. So, as far as the matchups go, those are the ones that stick out to me. I'm interested to see over these next 7 days what storylines can come up. Let's get you out of here on this. Mike McCarthy in Pittsburgh will win a total of X amount of games. Let's set the under.
Over under.
We're going to set it at 19. Does
Total.
he win?
Okay, so you're giving him 3 seasons or 2 seasons?
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Wait, see that
He's
if he
old.
has
Here's the
19 wins
factor.
over 2 seasons, he's fine.
No,
That
but
had
here's the
to be 3
factor.
seasons.
He is already the oldest coach all time. Already, just day one.
What is he? I didn't even see that. How
So
old is he?
by 2 years, he is older than when Chuck Noll retired, I believe.
Oh my
He's
God! Chuck
already.
Noll was a head coach for 17,000 years.
So my
What,
point
22,
is,
23 years to be more accurate.
my point is that Pittsburgh hires the young guys and then lets them go for a while.
Forever.
At this point, he will stop breathing and he will be in a casket. So they can't have him for, 30 years. So then is he a stepping stone to like the next guy?
Well, he has to be the bridge, but they panicked and they're like, we fired Tomlin, but we don't know what we're going to do.
Well, they didn't fire
Let's
him.
just have the filler guy.
They didn't.
Okay. Yes, okay, whatever. Semantics.
So that's why I said that, because I want to preface by saying, because he's already older, I don't know how long that he's going to go. So that's why I set the under over at 19. So what say you?
You're the first person I ever hear say under over. I always heard over under.
Oh, yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
Over,
I
under,
get your point.
yeah,
But it's
yeah.
funny. It's just funny. I'll make fun of you for it.
Yeah.
Your touch of the tism.
Yeah.
I think I will give a little bit. I think 3 years is about right, though. Because if he wins 19 games and it's only 2 seasons, he did fine, because that's 10 wins and 9 wins. And by Steelers standards, I mean, my God, you hit double-digit wins and you're booming. I mean, just screaming for a
10-7.
wild card road loss. That is the Pittsburgh way. I think 3 years is good. I think more of the over-under I'm looking at is not necessarily the win total, but the amount of seasons he's at. So I'll set the over-under 4 seasons at 3.5. I don't see them canning him after 2 years. I really don't, unless it really falls off a cliff. And I don't see Pittsburgh doing that. He's still a decent coach. The guy's a great regular season coach. He does have a Super Bowl a long time ago. With the Cowboys, he had success
with
in
the
the
quarterback
regular
that's
season.
There. He has the Super Bowl with the guy who's there with them now.
Yeah, which I think that's a factor as well. So Aaron Rodgers has how many years left? Do we think just one more and that's it? I would think one more and done. I think he gets 2 more seasons. I think the Steelers get 2 more seasons out of McCarthy, and I think that's it after 3. But I'll add a respect for Pittsburgh and longevity of head coaches. I'll throw on the half there, and with that, reasonably wins. I'll go a little higher.
You're on the over then.
I am sure. Slightly. I'll go 21.5 on wins.
Okay.
But 19's not far off.
Yeah, I might go barely over, but this is where Vegas, they know what they're doing. Let's see where the money goes.
Or the Raiders don't, but the gamblers do.
Yeah. So we'll see how, we'll talk about Aaron being in a cave over the next couple months. We got plenty of time to talk through that, because Aaron's not going to
McCarthy in the coffin.
Yeah, they're not going to come up with an answer anytime soon with Aaron Rodgers. So we'll see what happens. So a reminder to follow us on social media wherever you get your social media. New episodes of Sports Idiot Nation come to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, which means we will see you Friday. Thank you for watching this episode of Sports Idiot Nation. Remember, we are on all social media and on YouTube, and the podcast can be found on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Remember, new episodes are every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And remember, because you watch Sports Idiot Nation,
you would be the smartest idiot in the whole world.